Manchester United back, another quick turnaround for Manchester United to hopefully get that result out of our systems against Wolves. Really disappointed. I'm so disappointed with the result and the performance from that game, but we've got another game coming quick and fast. It's in a different competition at the League Cup. Not too much to shout about for a lot of fans. Aren't really bothered about the League Cup. Now, I would like to say that I'm hopeful that we're going to see a rotated side and potentially a couple of younger talent coming into the fold for this game, but I don't think that any of the youngsters will even make a place on the bench for this one, which is a little bit disappointing considering Marcus Rashford is banned for this game. It looks like it's going to just be a rotated side for the fixture, which to me is quite disappointing, to be honest, considering there's one or two players that I think deserve a chance in the first team, at least on the bench, if not starting this game. Now, I'm not too sure what he's going to go for in the back. It's going to be difficult to know what he's going to go for, but Romero will probably be in goal, I would presume, for this game. You're going to have Ashley Young, I would presume, at left back, and it'll be Diogo Dalot at right back, sorry. But it's going to be interesting to see what centre halves he goes for. He says that Phil Jones is now fit. I can see him going for Phil Jones and Eric Bailly in this one, because neither of them have played football in a long while, and Bailly needs to get some minutes to try and get his confidence back in the fold. Now, the midfield is going to be a real conundrum for Manchester United. I don't have a clue what he's going to go for in midfield. I'm not even too sure what I'd like to see in midfield, to be honest, because he's going to probably rotate it. Matic will probably come back in because he didn't feature at the weekend. Then we might see Andreas Pereira come in. I don't know, maybe Scott McTominay play as well. I'm just not too sure what he's going to do in midfield, to be honest. But I think a couple of them, Fellaini and probably Fred as well, will probably get rested, and Pogba, I'm sure, will get rested for this encounter. Now, I'm not too sure what he's going to go for in attack either, which is such a conundrum as well. I personally would like to see, on the right hand side, I would like to see Chong given a chance. On the left hand side, Anthony Martial, and up front I would go for Mason Greenwood. But that just isn't going to happen, to be honest. There's no way that Tahith Chong will be playing, because he's just featured for the under-23s against Middlesbrough, scoring an absolute cracking free kick in that game away there. But because he's played the 90 minutes there, I would be very surprised if he featured even as a substitute against Derby. Diogo Dalot didn't feature at all in that game, so that gives me an indication that none of the youngsters that were taking part in that game will have any chance of featuring in this game unless there is some mighty injuries. Now, we did see last season that Ethan Hamilton and Angel Gomez had a quick turnaround. I think it was the following day that they managed to get themselves ready for a game. I think it was Huddersfield in the FA Cup, and they featured on the substitutes bench but didn't feature in the game at all. Now, that could still happen if Manchester United were to get a few bad, even niggles, and players that he didn't want, that Jose Mourinho wouldn't really want to risk with the game against West Ham coming up. But I still cannot see one of them youngsters getting a chance. Now, the one that obviously does deserve to get the chance the absolute most is Mason Greenwood. Been absolutely fucking hammering in the goals this last year. In 2018 has got over a goal a game for Manchester United under 18s and under 19s in various competitions, which is absolutely fantastic record. Scoring over a goal a game is Jesus Christ. His son player, and should really be starting in the centre forward role with no Marcus Rashford and with no Romelu Lukaku, and Anthony Martial keeping his place out on the left wing. For me, that would be the perfect option. But I think I can only see Jose Mourinho going for a forward three of Anthony Martial, Romelu Lukaku, and probably Juan Mata, something along that lines. Maybe he would even go put Andreas Pereira in an attacking sense there. I'm not too sure, but I cannot really see Mason Greenwood coming into the fold. But I'm not too sure what he's going to do in the striking position, because I would have liked to have seen Romelu Lukaku on the substitutes bench for this encounter, unless he does go in Martial as the leading striker. But I'm not too sure who he's going to go for in the wide areas. Is he going to keep Alexis Sanchez? I just do not know what he's going to go for, and to be honest, it is a real shame that if I mean, I wouldn't make wholesale changes and bring in too many youngsters. I wouldn't bring in the likes of Jimmy Gardner, Angel Gomez into the fold. I'll just bring sort of one or two, maybe as I said, Mason Greenwood and Tahith Chong in the starting lineup. Maybe potentially have one of them on the bench. Maybe Gomez or Gardner on the bench. I wouldn't make wholesale changes. You just need to bring 1 or 2 into the fold in these type of games. Just give them maybe 50 minutes. If they're smashing it, then keep them on the pitch. We've always then got the likes of Lukaku and Paul Pogba, if they're on the substitutes bench, to come on and rescue the game if Manchester United have got problems. But I do agree that Derby aren't too bad. They're nearer the top end of the Championship. They've got, everyone's raving about Mason Mount at Derby. They've got Tom Lawrence, who Manchester United had previously. So they've got a few decent players in there. Obviously Frank Lampard is the manager of Derby, so it's going to be interesting to see him and Jose Mourinho on the touchline for this game against each other as managers, because obviously he was his player when Jose Mourinho was at Chelsea. So it will be interesting to see, but I think it's going to be some tried and tested players. I think the substitutes on the bench will probably be the likes of Darmian, players like that, and maybe Ander Herrera if he's back from injury. Players, safe players, rather than some of them just even if you don't start Chong or Gomez or Greenwood or Garner, any of them in the starting lineup, at least put one of them, be a Mason Greenwood, on the substitutes bench. Because can you imagine if we were 2 or 3-0 up in this game and we gave Mason Greenwood 10-15 minutes at the end of the game, just integrating him into the team would be great, because he's a fantastic prospect and he's performing so well at this moment in time, and he's in so confident goal scoring form that if given one chance in that first team, who knows, if he got one chance, come on, last 10-15 minutes, could he take it and maybe even get himself a goal? Who knows? You've just got to take your chance. We look back only a couple of years ago and Marcus Rashford got that chance against Midtjylland when no one thought that he was going to get the chance, because Anthony Martial injured himself in the warm-up, and we've only got to look at how he took his chance then, and he's now integrated into a first team squad man, which is great to see. If he'd never been given that chance that day, would he have ever got his chance in a Manchester United shirt then? And it could have been the next season when Louis van Gaal did eventually leave Manchester United. Would he have then got a chance? Who knows? Jose Mourinho bringing in other players, we never know whether he would have got his chance or not. And if you get your chance, you've just got to take it in the first team. That's the only thing you can do it. I know it is hard, certainly in the attacking areas, for Manchester United to integrate any attacking players. It is at a lot of these clubs, because the margin for error is so fine in games, and the managers are under huge pressure to have instant success. And obviously these players aren't getting the minutes that they may have because of the big squads that Manchester United and that have. And with the attacking options, with the fact that you only really play one centre forward these days, a lot of teams, I would like to see 2 centre forwards up front. Back to the old 4-4-2. But you don't really get to give other players a chance, because if Lukaku doesn't start in that striking area, he's probably going to go for a Martial or someone like that, and it limits the options if you've only got one player playing in one position for Manchester United. If you're playing with a striking partnership of 2, then you could rotate that like Manchester United did in the 99 and have more than one option in that striking area. But if Lukaku's the main man, he doesn't really give you a lot of chance to rotate the striking position. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this game coming up against Derby. It will be a bit of a downer if Manchester United do not rotate the squad that much, but I'm still hoping that Manchester United can go out there and just get the job done and at least win the game, because if Manchester United can't win the league, which it looks almost impossible for Manchester United to win the league this season or even challenge for the league or top 4, then we've got to be trying to win something, at least trying to win the FA Cup or the League Cup to at least salvage something from another season. We can't really be looking at another season without silverware, because you're going to start looking back and thinking, how many years can we go without winning silverware? When Manchester United, we should be up there challenging. We have no given right to win silverware, but it is always nice to get some silverware on the board, and Manchester United should be challenging for all trophies. And this may be bottom of Manchester United's list, but it's still a trophy worth having for Manchester United. If we could integrate just one maybe youngster into this sort of fold for this season, it would help Manchester United massively and some of the youth players. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video. I'm going to go for Manchester United winning this game 2-0. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.